This is episode number 48 of the Inland Empire Workers' Compensation Lawyer live stream podcast. My name is attorney Alexander Napolin. I'm an Inland Empire Workers' Compensation Lawyer. I'm joined by my co-host, attorney George Abuado. We're doing these episodes so that you have general information that you need about workers' compensation in California. You're either an injured worker out there, you're looking for help, or you're a family member of one. You can dial our injury helpline to get the legal advice that you need, but we provide these general discussions that are not legal advice just to give you some education so that you're more educated and you have more information. So in this episode, we're discussing how much is my workers' compensation case worth? This is a question we get all the time. We have people calling, we have people messaging our chat saying, hey, how much is my case worth? So we wanted to put this out there so that you have some general parameters so you can understand. But remember, there's no way to really know what your case is worth until you've gone through the process.
Right.
And there's no way for a lawyer to really know that. So if you have a lawyer out there who's saying, hey, your case is worth $100,000 for sure, well, that lawyer is not to be trusted in our opinion. So how much is my case worth? Well, what kind of case you have? It varies significantly.
Yeah. So this is a funny topic for me, Alex, because everybody wants to know how much their case is worth, right, when they speak to you. And the thing is, I'm sure you've had thousands of clients, as have I. I've seen thousands of different type of scenarios.
Yes.
But we say this for a reason. No case is the same. Every case varies. I mean, you could pick it apart, and two cases that look very, very similar can have 1,000 things that are different with them. Okay, so what I tell my clients, and I'm sure you do too, Alex, is like you said, if I were to tell you a number for how much your case is worth right now, while we're just discussing your case, without looking at any medical reports, without seeing what your first report is going to say, without talking to a neutral qualified medical examiner, without doing the legwork, what I'm doing is pretty much guessing, okay? And I always tell my clients during depositions, we don't want you to guess, we want you to estimate. Now, I do have an estimate of what it could be worth, but even that could be wrong because we have not gone through the process yet. So, like Alex said, if an attorney's telling you, oh, definitely, I'll take your case, sign right here, your case is worth this much, I personally, and it's my opinion, that person should not be trusted. I would not trust an attorney like that. I would trust an attorney that's honest and says, you know what, I had a case very similar to this. We were able to do this, this, and that. I don't know what we're going to be able to do here because we haven't gone through the process, but we'll do the best job possible, and I have a proven track record. That I'll take any day over someone telling me what they think my case is worth.
Yeah, so some lawyers and some non-lawyers out there that you might be talking to if you've been injured at work and you're calling law firms might be giving you numbers. We're here to tell you those numbers are speculative, especially if it's early on in the case.
At best. Speculative at best.
Speculative at best.
Yeah.
Look, it depends on how long you need treatment. It depends on what kind of treatments you need. It depends on what kind of injuries you have. It depends on if you get better or not.
Right.
It depends on what the future care is going to be.
Right.
And those are all things that you just can't know right at the very beginning of a case. So what you're looking for in an attorney is someone who can give you the guidance that you need to cover all your bases, to make sure you get as many benefits as you can along the way. Now, I do speak to my clients about how much I think their case is worth, but it's speculative, okay? And I try not to do it too much because you're just reevaluating how much the case is worth every month as you learn new information.
Right.
And one thing that my clients need to understand is that if you get better from the medical treatment, you have less permanent disability, you have less work restrictions. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but it does mean your case might be worth less money than you hoped for.
Yeah. And we actually did a video on this, on how much the case is worth, and people will be surprised once they research it and see what the average claim is worth. It'll surprise you. So if you want, do some of that research. We also have a video on it. I suggest you check it out.
While you're listening to this discussion, you can dial our injury helpline, 844-984-8414. We'll listen to your case. Maybe you're at the end of your case. Maybe you haven't had a lawyer. Maybe you've already had a qualified medical evaluation. Maybe you need us to look at it. If you have permanent disability rating, which means you've gone through the process of getting all your medical treatment and the doctor said, hey, this is the best we can make you, they're going to give you a permanent disability rating. Hopefully they give you one. If they didn't give you one, you need to call the injury helpline right away because you might be saying, hey, I'm still hurt and I'm not getting anything and I'm just getting sent back to work. Can you do your job? These are questions you need to speak with an experienced lawyer about Because like George said, we've done thousands of cases, we've seen thousands of scenarios, and that's what gives us the knowledge and the know-how to zig and zag on your case to make sure that you get the maximum amount of settlement that you can get.
Right.
Or the maximum amount of benefits. I mean, is it better to get $15,000 right away? Or is it better to collect temporary disability for 104 weeks and then get $15,000?
Yeah, and then there's certain things that your attorney knows how to do. For instance, if they're not offering you the right amount of money to close out your case completely, you always have the option. And I say always because I have to take a look at the time frame in your specific case, but you do have the option of closing your case out, having the future medical care open, and then if you do get worse, being able to reopen your case again, and that might add value to your claim. So you have several options, but once again, I have seen, sadly enough, I've spoken to people in the past that are coming to me and saying, what can you do for me? I still have pain, and I look down, and they signed a settlement agreement that closes out their case completely, and there's nothing I can do or anyone can do for them, and they weren't explained their options. So that's very, very sad. Yeah.
Yeah, lawyers like George, like us, we know how to reopen your case. So if you want a lump sum settlement, it's an agreement between you and the insurance company to settle everything for a lump sum. Otherwise, you just get your future care and your permanent disability, which is the standard way a case would close unless you agreed to a lump sum.
Yeah.
If your lawyer knows how to reopen that case and get more for you later and start putting thorns in the side of the insurance carrier, you're going to get more money on your case.
Putting their feet to the fire. That's what it takes sometimes. You know, knowing how to put the insurance carrier's feet to the fire so that they can cough up the money that you deserve. And Alex, you made a very good point. You said, if you do have that final report and you do have a PD and you're just wondering how much is my case worth because they're not giving me anything and I'm still in pain, definitely come and see us, because at that point, once you bring us all those reports, we can do our due diligence and tell you, listen, this is how much we would recommend demanding. This is how much we would recommend settling for. So we can give you a figure once all the verdict is in, right, on your medical reports, on your permanent disability, on everything that's already been done. At that point, we do have a lot of information. But just asking us, hey, I got hurt the other week, how much can I get? That's a different situation than giving us medical reports and all the information we need to make an educated assessment of what you can get from the insurance company. So I think that two different things. And listen, before we end this video, I do want to say that you should never listen to an attorney that tells you how much that you should get for your injury without having any information in front of them. But the person you should listen to the least is your neighbor, your uncle, your cousin, your sis that had a workers' comp claim and now they're experts. That's the last person you should listen to. Please don't listen to a layperson and have them tell you what they got and what kind of treatment they had and how their claim was done. Because let me tell you, once again, theirs was probably just opposites end of the spectrum from what yours is. So don't take advice from them. Call the injury helpline.
I agree 100%. You know, and it doesn't mean you shouldn't trust people that you trust to give you, you know, advice and stuff. But when it comes to like legal issues and how much your case is worth, unless they've done 1,000 claims like we've each done, they don't really know. They only know their one claim, and that's just not going to be enough. Like we were discussing in our last episode, TBI, you're not getting even a doctor's visit for it. You're not getting your QME. Yeah. If you have that, you're not going to be getting much on your case unless you hire an attorney. And it's very rare that someone's able to come to us with all of those medical reports, as you just described, George. You know, you said, hey, if you come to us with all of these reports, we could look at it, and it's the end of the case. Maybe we could give you an idea, but don't think you're going to get all. It's very rare, in my opinion, from the general public coming to me for the last 12 years, that somebody comes in and says, hey, I've gotten all of my QMEs, and here they all are, although it has happened a couple times, and it's surprising. Because usually if you're out there unrepresented, you're not getting much.
Well, listen, we always tell people, right, we'll TBD with your TBI because we TCB. We'll see what's to be determined with your traumatic brain injury because we take care of business.
That's right. And you have to take care of business. That's why you got to get a lawyer. This is general information only. If you're wondering how much your case is worth, dial the injury helpline. Get in touch with a lawyer, 844-984-8414. We'll talk to you for free. We'll give you the guidance that you need to get on track to make sure that you get the compensation that you deserve.